Alright, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Feed Me Pixels channel. I'm your host, Larry the Chupacabra, joined by my partner in voxelated crime, Mr. Slycopperr, and we're going to be continuing our voxel-related Skysaga adventures with their infinite floating sky islands.
Yes, indeed. We are still in Alpha 9, I believe.
Yeah, Alpha 8 or 9, where they did a bunch of changes to the combat system, most notably. And now when you go out into the wild blue yonder and you open a chest, it doesn't open like the ones in your base. It just flops everywhere out on the ground, which is a giant pain in the ass.
It's pretty much where we left off in the previous video, although not in a time sense.
Right.
Rather than in an in-game sense.
Yeah, it's been a little bit, and we're still trying to figure out, like, where one gets all the crazy Luma Stone to craft weird, bizarre magics and perhaps figure out what happened in this world. Because I don't know if you guys remember, but some weird magic happened and shattered the world into a bunch of pieces and kind of fucked everything. So that's kind of on our to-do. But the first thing I intend to do today is I'm going to open up this puppy dog, and we have a helping hand mission that we need to go on and do. I have not, even though it doesn't say I have a mission for there, I still have a mission that I need to complete in this elite forest area. And then after that, I think I'll probably make a kitchen, while Sly regales us with tales of back when he had a mullet, and his primary mode of employment was standing in for Swedish metal bands during album cover shoots.
Implying I don't do that.
I mean, didn't you cut your hair? It doesn't really work if your hair's cut, Sly.
No, it's still quite large. Or big. Or whatever you say.
Full? We'll just call it full and long and flowing in the wind.
Delicious.
That's why his house... That's why his entire house is completely filled with nothing but fans. There's no mirrors, just fans to make the effect look worthwhile. Alright, so...
My only problem is the electricity bill, really.
Rip. Alright, we got a call on the old Farhailer. Ah, hello, Barnaby, another recruit, Larry. He should be somewhere around here. His last call mentioned searching for relics in a cabin and an inn, but that was a while ago. Go and see if you can find him, or if he's like been disemboweled, see if you can scrape him back into the semblance of a body. Yeah, alright. So that was the Peregrine guy who's been giving us a lot of our missions to try and figure stuff out. Oh, here we go. Barnaby Wyatt, a novice scout. Whoever just got in range of my Farhailer. Doesn't everybody get the same kind of Farhailer? I just got, like, a call from across the planet. Like, what is your cell plan, sir? Whoever just got in range, please help me. I'm standing outside of a huge, murdery tree stump. I found an eerie magical bone with a bear, and a bear stole it and took it into the lair below. I'd be terribly grateful if you popped down and, you know, murdered the shit out of him. Alright, sounds like a plan. So basically, I've already kind of started to do this mission in between episodes, like 5 minutes ago, but it bugged out, so we're gonna see if it'll finish this time. Or if I need to get angry and throw rocks out the window at a snowbank, where the deer sleep. They're gonna be very agitated if I do that, but I feel something's gonna have to happen. So Sly, have you gotten much further in this game than I have? I think you kind of quit around the same time I did, until we got more time to do the series.
Yes, I'm exactly in this quest as you are.
Alright, well, if you want to join me to fondle things, you
yes,
are more than welcome.
Just have. I'm looking at these beautiful pictures that some random hobos in the internet took.
Oh, excellent, excellent. Oh, there you are. I see you spawned in the distance. There's a little pink friendship heart that says we touch butts on occasion. Oh, isn't that just the cutest? Well, the thing that I had a problem with before was I did some side questing and then my inventory got full and I couldn't get a pickup from this inn. You might notice on the right-hand side of my screen, there's search the area for relics. We gotta find the tree stump. We gotta go molest some people in a giant inn for a relic, and we also gotta go to a cabin for some relics. Nothing like hanging out in a cabin in the woods long after Halloween, Sly, to really set the mood, wouldn't you say?
Yes, as long as there's no storm or crazy murder people.
Did you see that movie, The Cabin in the Woods?
Oh yeah.
That was something, all right. For those of you who never saw that particular movie, that was like your classic horror movie. But in the future, to keep a bunch of ancient murder gods happy, we occasionally just kill teenagers in the woods. And that keeps them silent and sleeping. So they've distilled the tales of hubris and horror down to their quintessential elements. And there's like an organization that kills teenagers with sci-fi technology. Underneath of a cabin in the middle of, I don't know, Nebraska or some shit.
I mean, truth be told, who doesn't enjoy murdering teens?
I mean, you're not wrong. I mean, Steve Jobs invented, like, the world's most addictive text messaging format of touchscreen phones that are now adopted by everybody, and Google is the king of that stuff now. So, it kind of makes a bit of sense that everyone's a little bit out to get the teens. At least the dumb ones. I mean, for everything else, you know, there's just high student loans and a propensity for poor decision-making while drinking Heineken.
Heineken, of course, the favorite beverage of our pollen friend, Paper Sharps.
Oh yeah, definitely. And everyone else is in Feed Me Pixel's favorite thing to call dog piss. Say, oh where are those cute little relics? Oh where could they be? I've also not managed to sneak up on anybody having sex in this inn yet, and I'm very disappointed. I mean, there's not even anyone squanching in a closet somewhere. Just 0 out of 10 right now.
I mean, I can go in a closet if you want.
I mean, could you? Could you, like, autoerotic asphyxiate yourself, Sly? I really just want to have an experience while I'm here.
I mean, I could do that for you.
That'd be perfect.
Just for you.
But basically, the Cabin in the Woods movie ends after the kids are like, I'd prefer not to die. How about fuck you? And then they set all the beasts loose, and then the old gods start to come back to life, and they're like, you fucked up everything. And I'm like, yeah, alright. This was not where I expected this movie to go. Sign me right up for more of that. Because even if a movie's not, like, generically good, in that way that movie critics tend to like, I like them a little more if they at least try to be somewhat original in their content.
I mean, there's just some random stuff that they throw in together, and the critics like, bravo, bravo. It's just a pile of stinking garbage.
Yeah, there's also that. I feel like at a certain point, some critics have been doing it so long that if it's even, like, slightly different, they're just like, oh god, I'm jizzing in my pants. Oh.
There's also the part where, like, the critics don't really understand the movie because it's so jumbled. But they go like, oh, yes, bravo. So they appear to be very intellectual.
They don't know what to say, so they're like, it confused me. Maybe people will be confused into thinking it's good.
They just run us off as individuals, really.
Because my thing is, like, a lot of my favorite movies over the years have been, like, just shit on by critics. And so part of that is, I guess you gotta pick the critic that kind of fits your preferences. Like, they have similar opinions to you when it comes to movies, so that they could be, like, a good gauge of whether or not it's worth your money to go see, like, X movie or to watch X TV show. So that
I think most of them are just safe one, in particularly not trusting anyone.
Yeah, there might be something to that. I mean, my issue is just that I don't know. I don't really read or listen to a lot of critics that just watch movies before I do. I listen to a lot of, like, online movie critics, like YouTube critics. And they probably watched the movie about the same time that I did, and then kind of like an ex post facto, halfway through its time in the theaters, they're like, yeah, I watched this movie, it was alright. Didn't give me butt cancer. I didn't find any relics again, so I don't know what the fuck.
Yes, I don't appear to have gotten any, either.
Well, I guess maybe this is just a fiddly quest. I can't tell if I actually have to do this or not. Like, it seemed when I was playing earlier that I did, but now it's not showing up in my quest log anymore. Are you mining out all the stone in here?
Just the iron.
Oh, are these just giant iron chunks?
Yep.
Huh. Fair enough. That's actually a really easy way to go get iron. Convert them into giant blocks of fondly murder. So speaking of movies that are questionable, have you seen the trailer to The Ghost in the Shell, and how much do you know about Ghost in the Shell as a series and a movie?
Let's not get started there.
Oh no, we're gonna get
boy.
started there. We have plenty of time to ramble about how stupid that is.
Yeah, so I'm not sure if you've seen this or if anyone in the audience seen this, but they just opposed the images from the anime with the quotes from the movie, creating like the anime trailer of some sort. It's like, oh, this fits perfectly, but it doesn't really fit perfectly.
So basically, here's the trouble. Ghost in the Shell, a movie about Asian characters with a white female actress who should have been an Asian female actress for starters. Like, I like that lady's tits as much as the next guy, but I don't feel like that was the right casting choice. So basically,
plenty of choices in like Japanese actress in Hollywood, so I don't really understand why. And if you had a problem with Japanese actress, just go for the Chinese ones. There's Lucy Liu; she's perfectly fine.
yeah, and so like they picked that, but the thing that got me is like I can overlook that because you know I'm white. I don't really give a shit. I don't really give a shit if it's a white actor. I just don't. Is that they fucked up the story of The Ghost in the Shell, and I'm like, you guys need to stop licensing this shit out to studios that just rewrite story that is set in fucking stone at this point. Ghost in the Shell is not a new IP. It is not something that you can just go fuck with and expect the fans to be okay with it. So Ghost in the Shell, the main character for that, is a woman who's basically like this unique military mind who helps solve sort of internal affairs, James Bond style, in ultra-futuristic Japan. And it's very known, like her history is very known by everyone she works with. She is a longtime military entity, and she has slowly built up a very trusted crew of people to work with her. She's like a long-term mercenary, member of the military, all that stuff, and is just really good at what she does. And she has some weirdness to her past, but it's not like it's a super-duper mystery to a bunch of people either. Okay, I got the relic in the cabin immediately. It's like a little... It looks like a little weird stone lantern. But, so, they in the trailer for it, if you watch the extended trailer that just came out, they make it seem like she's the first of her kind and that they, like, created her in, like, this special prototype android body exclusively for her because she's, like, nearly indestructible. But she's got to figure out who did stuff to her and why. But the trouble is, the anime movie was about this hacker called the Laughing Man and all the weird shit that he's doing, and it kind of implies this next evolution in cybernetic existence and stuff on the net as minds stop being attached to bodies. And then they just kind of threw all that away, and I'm like, that's not how that works. You can't just rewrite that. I don't know.
No, in the end, I think they just say, oh, this is a really famous title, and let's just copy-paste the characters and it'll be fine.
So that kind of threw me off big time. I think it threw you off too, didn't it, Sly?
Yeah, I don't even have words to describe it. It's like, I expect it to be a colossal failure, where the fans won't care about it, or if they do, they'll just go there just of nostalgia or something, and then they will hate it.
Yeah, so I probably won't see it in the theaters. I'll probably like wait and watch it at home or off a bootleg website.
Yeah. I only really expect it to be a success with people that aren't familiar with the series, but if they overcomplicate the plot, it's just gonna be a hot mess.
Yeah, I feel like people might still like it, but I don't know. I don't like it when you take something that's a long-term franchise and then just do... There's just no need. I just don't understand why they need to do that all the time. There was nothing wrong with the other story. People were fine with it. They were gonna watch it. They were gonna really enjoy it. But then someone's like, we gotta lowest common denominator this shit and ruin it.
Oh, I just got...
Yeah, I got mine too. I was just looking for other things. Turns out there was a hidden murder upstairs that you had to find another little catwalk to get up here. Yeah, all right.
Yeah,
So,
I feel like they do that with Hollywood a lot of times. Like they try to adapt like foreign movies or like even animes and godforsake games, and it just ends badly.
well, they try to think that. Well, they don't try. They do it. But they think like putting in a crappy shoehorned in love interest is going to make women who are not interested in the movie whatsoever suddenly fawn over it. The reality is, no, they don't give a shit that you just threw a love romantic story in there. And not only that, but it makes this movie shittier for the core fan base who wanted to go regardless. So I don't know, they just do stupid shit. It's like those focus grouped data that they think is actually useful, but it ends up alienating the core demographic and doesn't get them but maybe like one extra ticket sale because some guy's girlfriend, when she hears that there might be a shitty love interest, is like, okay, maybe that's tolerable, maybe I'll go see it with him. Or fall asleep while I'm in there. It's just a bad time. They should quit doing that. And if I owned an IP like that, that'd be one of my requirements in the contract. Don't piss with the story. We have a very good writer who's better than your writers. Don't fuck with it. Okay,
Yes,
so
and like you've said this before, like in Japanese culture, there's like they have this person who's just all about that lore, and if they need something, they go to him as like a freaking encyclopedic knowledge.
yeah,
They
so like I
ignore that
was
shit.
what Sly is talking about, as I mentioned when we were discussing this in one of the Pixelcast podcasts, that when it comes to Japanese companies, you usually get like one or two creatives that it's kind of their baby. You don't fuck with it. You don't touch it inappropriately with your schlong. You just let it be what it's gonna be. So there's just more of the authorship of like one person keeping control over the lore, the story, and how everything fits together. Like, you know, Miyazaki with all of his weird movies, or Hideo Kojima with all of his weird games. He is the author-in-chief, and the second that they fired him, they started to do some weird, questionable shit. Actually, this time we come in here, there's a bunch more zones in here, Sly.
Yeah, that's neat.
I can find some lockets in this graveyard. But yeah, so they typically have like one or two people, but I guess whoever owns Ghost in the Shell is just like, fuck it, we'll just give it to them. They probably offered him enough money for it that they just don't care. Which in every culture, that's kind of a given. No, nobody's above it. There's no such thing as that.
Yes, and even if you have like all those arguments where Japanese people are so like retrogrades in their thinking, they still go after the money.
Yeah, I mean that's just true of any culture, really. That's just human. Humans tend to do the same thing in all cultures at some point. Like, I think in world history, for example, there's only one recorded incident of a culture creating textiles before they created alcohol. Because, you know, there's one thing that humans love. They love their mind-altering experiences. And while alcohol, you could argue, isn't that mind-altering, it makes you feel all fuzzy and awesome inside, so fuck yeah, they're gonna invent alcohol and drink till they're blue in the face.
Says Larry as he takes a sip of the finest wine.
I didn't get more wine for this. I had been drinking wine this evening to unwind before we recorded. Now I'm back to water until afterwards, so that I don't start slurring my word holes. You can't just drink on the job all the time, or admit it to doing it. Sometimes you gotta be subtle with that. Gotta really work up to it. So, you know, I said I don't like the new combat as much, but I feel like the core of the new combat is a lot more solid than it used to be. When you had like 50 contextual battle controls, like you could hop, and if you were slashing down on something, it suddenly became just a smash down into the ground.
Yeah, they made it better, but there's still room for improvement, I feel like.
I feel like they should take this and put the combos back, because right now, when you get the little action bar on there's like a little lightning bolt in my HUD there. If that gets full, I can do like a power-up attack that like does a flurry of stab-em moves. But I don't tend to use that a lot, because you can get slapped when you're doing that, and that ends up getting you murdered when you really want to use it. So I tend to stay clear of it. Oh, there's a dude with a giant battle maul. Giant Slap them.
Did you take the chest in the crypt?
I did.
Downstairs?
It was full of so much bacon that I didn't necessarily need.
As is usual.
Yeah.
Carry on.
At least they changed it so you get a better drop rate on things like weapons off of these enemies, which is nice. I found the log. It's right next to the inn. It's just slightly far enough away that you can't see it through the fog. So I guess after this episode is over, I probably need to tab out and change my settings. Okay, so outside of this huge tree stump is Wyatt. Hey Wyatt, what's up? You dying? Dying, Wyatt? Oh, I could have left hours ago, but I felt rather guilty about returning to the city empty-handed. You could just lie, Wyatt. You don't have to tell them that you found shit. They don't know. Their memories are fucked. Alright, so... being an explorer is harder than I imagined. I guess he's not going to tell me anything new, but I know that you have to go into here, and you have to retrieve the bone from the bear toucher down here. Past all of these little baby bears. I feel like there's a certain level of sadisticness to walking into a mama bear's lair covered in her baby's blood. Just like, hey, here you got a magic bone that I got to pick with you. So, you know, I'm gonna stab you. I'll stab you real good. Actually, you can probably just ignore most of these bears. They're just like off in the water doing stuff. Yeah, alright. I'm completely fine with that. And we don't even need to have torches down here.
Yeah, like some random hobo just left theirs here.
Yeah, or just some glowing, like, minerals, which is a nice touch. And I like how they have more than one type of glowy mineral to fit more than one type of environment. Because otherwise, that gets very samey very quick.
Yes, I really like the variety. It's just, it annoys me I can't get them.
Yeah, I wish there was more shit that you could harvest from the environment intact. Okay, so these are the bears that just make a beeline right for your butthole and start stabbing things. Oh, getting touched. On the plus side, I did get some new armor that makes this super duper easy. Because before, if you got slashed by like a mini boss of some variety, they would straight up fuck you, like in the butthole. But now I can take a few hits, like quite a few hits, and not really give a shit. Which I kind of like. That's a much more happy medium. Alright, now I've got my sword powered up. There we go, that's my finisher. And it's fancy. Get all... ah, shit, really? Now I run out of spots. Right when I want to get some stuff. So let me destroy some of this. I got a shitty rusty training sword. Well, that's always fun. Okay, got the treasure amber. So my one major qualm with how this new loot system works, where you kind of just break stuff, or you kind of just have stuff drop onto the ground when you open chests, is that at least before, when I had materials in my inventory that I wanted to, like, leave, I could just slap... I could do my sorting, like, on the spot as I worked my way through different items. But now I can't leave stuff in the chest that I'm looting. I have to slap it on the ground.
Yeah, it's very, like, clunkily drop things and then pick things, and then the things are in the same place, so it's really, ugh.
Yes, then you accidentally pick up the wrong things, and then Tony Montana shows up, and his pants are gone, and you're just like, really, man? Really? But he's like, nah, man, it's cool. It's cool. Don't you worry your pretty little head. And I'm like, oh, Christ. Yeah, you understand, Sly. It's a little awkward. I already have enough wax from when I was in here before. I can actually just chuck all of that. I don't need a bajillion wax. Okay, I'll get this stuff first, which is cotton. It's a cotton picking good time. And then what's in the big golden murder thing? It's pumpkins! Too bad it's literally not Halloween anymore. Oh, this game sometimes. I feel like when you fight a boss, you should be guaranteed something of a certain quality of an item. I just stabbed a giant glowing golden bear. For fucking real, game. So yeah, we're kind of progressing through the story of Skysaga and ranting and raving about things as we go. hope you guys and gals at home have enjoyed so far. And I'm gonna go back to my base and dump all my stuff into some chests. And then we're gonna do a little bit of home improvement and renovation. And then I'll catch you guys and gals on the other side when we do that. Just that we kind of minimize the downtime betwixt the episodes. So I'll catch you guys and gals then, along with Sly, because he's not going anywhere. We got him in we got him chained to a computer. It's great.
Yes, I'm here for life.
Yep. That said, he sneaks out around outside my house, so it's not like I'm going to escape either. So yep, we'll catch you then. Bye, everybody.